Hi everyone! Welcome to American English Daily. My name is Chelsea and today we are going to be talking about comparatives. Comparatives are what we use when we want to talk about two nouns. For example, two books, two pencils, two shoes. You know that an adjective can be used to describe one noun. But now, we are going to be describing two nouns in the same sentence. So for today's video, we are only going to work with adjectives that are short, have one syllable or only two syllables. Tomorrow's video is going to go into more detail about longer adjectives and about using superlatives, which is the second half of comparatives. So, let's look at the items we started with. Books, shoes, pencils. Let's get a few adjectives up here that could be used to describe one pencil. Maybe tall or short is an adjective that would describe one pencil. Maybe some adjectives that could describe one shoe could be old, new, clean, or dirty. And some adjectives to describe one book could be big or heavy. Now, these are all adjectives, and if we are only describing one noun, we can use these adjectives. But if we want to talk about two nouns at the same time and compare them to each other, we need to use a comparative form. Now, if we're working with a short adjective, the comparative form is simple. All we're going to do is add er to the adjective and then add the word than. For example, the adjective tall in the comparative form becomes taller than. Can you do the next one? What you should have gotten is shorter than. What about old? Try old for yourself. What you should have gotten is older than. Try new for yourself. What you should have gotten is... Okay, let's get the rest up on the board. Here we go. Before we move on though, I'm going to call your attention to two of the adjectives we have near the bottom of our list. Dirty and heavy. You notice that both of these adjectives end with the letter Y. And in these cases, we still add the ER, but the spelling changes because we change the Y to an I. So I've underlined that just so you can be aware of it. It's not a grammatical difference, it's a spelling difference. The form of adding the ER is still the same in all of them. Okay, now that we understand the grammatical form for short adjectives using one or two syllables and changing those into comparatives, let's look at some sentences using the comparatives. Let's start with our two pencils. We have a brown pencil and a yellow pencil. And we want to talk about both of the pencils and how they compare to each other. So if I want to use the adjective tall, I could say the yellow pencil is taller than the brown pencil. If I want to use the adjective short, I could say the brown pencil is shorter than the yellow pencil. Let's look at a couple other examples where we're using two nouns and comparing them to each other using the comparative form. Let's move on to my running shoes. Now, this running shoe, I bought it about 5 years ago, and this one I bought it about 2 months ago. So they are different and they look kind of different. If we want to use the adjective old, we could say, this shoe is older than this shoe. If we want to use, for example, clean, well, this one is newer, so it is also cleaner. I would say, this shoe is cleaner than the old shoe. Let's look at one last example using books. Here I have 2 books. Remember that we always need to have 2 nouns for a comparative to make that comparison. So if I want to use heavy as my adjective, I would have to say that the red book is heavier than the black book. If I wanted to use, for example, big, talking about the size of the book, I would also say the red book is bigger than the black book. Now, this has just been an introduction to comparatives because adjectives are really quite a big topic in English. There is a lot more to talk about, so tomorrow I will be posting a video about the grammatical form for comparatives when the adjective is longer than 2 syllables. Because we do have adjectives with 3, 4, even 5 or 6 syllables, and those are treated differently in English. So be sure to come back tomorrow for more videos in English. And if you have any particular request, any topic that you would like me to make an English video about, please leave me a comment or send me a message and I will be happy to make a video for you. Thank you so much for watching and good luck with your English learning.